Hey, all you tuggers and tuggettes. Remember when we said we had something special for you this season? Well, here it is. We are really excited to announce that support for these unprecedented gays is brought to you by Manscaped, providing the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
And I'm about to pick it up, girl, because, Paul, you know Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. You can join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you.
For me?
For you! 20% off and free, guess what? Worldwide shipping, because we are what? Global. So you're going to use the code TUGAYS, and that's TUGAYS at manscaped.com.
6 million men. Now, if my math is correct, that's like 12 million balls.
That's a lot of balls.
That's a lot of balls.
We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
We're always starting. Remember, we're always on.
We're always on. I'm always serving. I'm like Denny's 24-hour serving. Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Why? It's always a grand slam.
Can you be Taco Bell? No, Taco Bell's not.
No, girl. Not, you can't be Taco Bell. Not for these gays.
Why not? It'll help
Unless
clean
you're a
you
top.
out. Hey, it'll help clean you out.
Okay. Well, I'm Paul.
I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays. How are you, Joe? How was your week?
Well, my week was boring.
Yeah.
I didn't really do much.
No?
No. I was like trying to think about it. I was like, okay, what did I do this week? And I was like, nothing. So I wasn't really that adventurous.
Okay.
We did have, you were out, but we had, while you were gone, well, you were in a hot climate, but
I was in Satan's taint.
Well, you also missed the heat wave from Hurricane K.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that because, I mean, it was like 107, 108 where we were.
But it was probably not, like, moist.
And I swear to God, if somebody says it's a dry heat one more time, because we were in Scottsdale, and that's what everybody said every single time. It's a dry heat. And I'm like...
And you're like, I don't care about any of the heat. I don't want any of it.
I don't want any. Dry, wet, moist, I don't care.
I'd rather have dry heat than hurricane heat. Because it was sticky air and it was gross and it was disgusting and it like wasn't fun.
Oh,
so you missed that.
Yeah,
you missed that. We also did go to that gay film festival at Balboa Park.
Oh, okay. How'd you like it?
It was what did we see? The short films. It was fun. I thought they did really good. There were some films that I was like, questionable.
Always.
Like there was this. I don't know what it was called, but it was like a short film where it was like this lesbian couple that were getting married, and then like the grandma didn't approve, and she gives the bride this like stopwatch, and then it turns into like a zombie thriller.
Oh,
0 out of 10 recommend.
Wasn't bad.
And what was the other one that I didn't like? I'm trying to think.
What are you thinking about that? Everybody, please go out and support any of these, anywhere you live, any of these local like gay out film festivals and things like that when you see it, because it actually is kind of fun and they do have some good stuff out there. So just check it out when you get a chance.
Yeah, I had no idea that this even existed until Andy texted. I was like, oh, sure. I
love to go every year, but it's just like this year I had to be out of town for a conference. But like there's some really good ones. But you can always tell when something is not going to be probably that great because it comes from like breaking glass. So if you hear the and you're like, okay, this is probably not going to be good.
Wait, what do you mean it comes from breaking glass?
And that's the production company. Or if it comes from...
distribution company.
There's also another one called Wolf. And it's like...
Oh, dear.
Arr! So whenever you hear the breaking glass of the wolf, you're like, oh, this is going to be student film.
There's some good ones.
Wolf actually did, I think The Swimmer was Wolf.
Oh, okay.
And that was really good.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's not uniform. I mean, Breaking Glass generally, yes.
It always feels like they're, like a lot of their films always feel like they're filming it like but nobody knows they're filming kind of thing. So they're
Oh,
trying to do it in
no.
public, but like not get caught because they don't have permits.
Oh my god!
It always seems like those movies are set in Portland, Oregon. For some reason, too. Only those five.
And there's
See.
always like 4 or 5 actors that star in all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, is it like Netflix where they have the same people that
I
just
think so,
go,
yeah.
they film hop? Oh man.
One
So
of
yeah,
the-
no,
Paul's pro tip, just because it's a pro tip, is always Paul's. Is if you're new to film festivals, just check out the shorts, because usually you get an opportunity to see a lot of films in the same amount of time as one movie. So that's what we did.
that's what we.
yeah.
So that's always a really great, just kind of way to choose. Yeah, eight
were
shorts.
Good tip.
Yeah, I think there were 10.
Paul's
yeah,
pro
but-
tips.
I'm amazing at these tips.
and it was my attention span's perfection because it was like 15 minutes max.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, we're done. On to the next one. It's like YouTube, and then you just find another video. It's called binging. And so then, what else did I do? Oh, I'm getting ready for Red Dress Party,
Okay.
which means I have to spend $400 to buy various things on Amazon because I don't know what size I am in women's clothing, and then I have to return all of it because I'm not going to keep all of it.
So for those of you who don't know, San Diego holds a red dress party every year to help raise
It's
money for
AIDS,
AIDS
yeah.
awareness. And so it is exactly what it says. Everybody has to be in a red dress.
Oh, you mean I was just saying that I wanted to buy red dresses.
Oh, you just want to like...
You think I'm going to this party? It's $75.
I know, and that doesn't get you anything except entrance in the door.
Inflation. I'm telling you.
Oh, we're going to talk about inflation.
Oh.
Do you think Paulo knows
Wait.
that his picture's on the front page?
Oh, I
Which
don't
one's
know.
Paul?
Paulo.
Oh, I thought you said Paul.
No.
I was like, and then I was like, there's an Asian girl? That's really rude, Nick.
I like... Okay, so this year, everyone, the theme
Go ahead.
for this is called Once Upon a Time.
So let me tell you why this is a homophobic abomination against me. Because last year I wanted to have a red tulle cape, but at Amazon it wouldn't have shipped in time because it's apparently like a special order thing. So now, of course, this year everyone's gonna have that damn thing.
Right, because everybody's going to be Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Ho.
Red Riding Ho.
I just want to know what an abomination is.
Wait, is that what I said?
Imitation of Obama?
Because it's all Obama's fault that he couldn't get it. So
I'm Republican now.
It's a homophobic abomination.
It's like an abomination, but against orgasms. So yeah, that's been my week.
okay.
How about you?
Well, I traveled again. Like I said, I traveled to Scottsdale
Multi-stated.
with 2 of the girls from the office for a dental convention at a very nice resort.
Okay.
It was very cool. The girls, it's the first time they've ever gone to a conference. First time they've been away from their kids.
Oh.
And I also got them upgraded to a suite. So, like, they were very happy about, like, all of that. It was, like I said, the Devil's Taint in Scottsdale because it was, like, 107 and 108. And
So-
you go from, like, freezing because you have the air conditioning on, and then you go outside and you're like, it's so hot.
But did you go outside, or was this from like air
you had
conditioned to the car?
Well, you had to walk from like your room to the conference center and back again. You still
No,
had to
you
go there.
didn't.
Yeah,
In full like clothes?
out there and everything.
The conference center wasn't in the hotel,
Well, it was part of the hotel, but it wasn't.
but there
in the
wasn't a nice like hallway that's
No, I wish. Yeah. So, but this is interesting. So, the last day after we got done, we went up to this rooftop pool that they have above the spa.
Okay.
And we ordered cocktails. And I ordered one, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting." It has like a CBD infused alcohol in it, so I was like, "Okay, yeah,
Did you have
try it."
marijuana? Was it THC?
It was CBD, so
Okay,
I don't
you're
know.
fine. You're fine. That's legal.
So we did this, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm feeling very like." Relax, and like they must have essential oils and these misters because they have misters by the pool where you're sitting on the chairs, and I'm like, because I'm just relaxed, I'm very calm. And I get back later, and I must have had like a reaction to this or something like that because I was like shivering, like I was like I had a fever, but I didn't, and I couldn't sleep. And then when I was sleeping, I was dreaming that I was tossing and turning in bed.
What?
Yeah, so it was just like this whole cycle of me tossing and turning in bed and then dreaming about it. So I didn't get any sleep. So, yeah, I don't know if it's because, like, I didn't think that you can mix CBD and alcohol together like that. I thought that wasn't a good mix, but like, why would you do that in an actual like liquor? So
They probably did it to market to people like, oh, it's CBD, it'll help you feel better.
I think so. Plus, it was like they could charge $15 for the drink.
So I'm guessing it didn't help you feel better.
No, I mean, it helped me feel relaxed. I thought I was going to sleep really well because at dinner I was like, I'm going to fall asleep right here.
Oh, no.
But then like I didn't sleep. So anyway, but that was my week.
Don't recommend that.
No, I don't recommend that one.
Did you do any touristy stuff?
No, and you know what? We like the last day that we were there. We're like, okay, we're gonna go to Old Town Scottsdale and go shopping so we can get some gifts for the kids.
What do they have in?
Well, we went there. It was like 5:45, and a lot of the stores closed at either 5 or we're gonna close at 6. And one
Why
of the
so early?
I don't know because they're old. But then we get to one of these places. It's like 5:48. We walk in the door. She's like, "We're closing soon," and we're like, "Okay, can we not come in then and not get anything?" She's like, "We're closing soon." I'm like, "I'm gonna take that as a no. You don't want us coming in, so we're gonna walk right out."
Is Scottsdale like by Phoenix? Or
It's right, like it's right next to Phoenix. If you're thinking about like San Diego, Scottsdale is like the La Jolla, Coronado, or like Del Mar of Phoenix.
So
it's
she's bougie.
She's bougie, okay. Yes. Okay. And it's really close to, I guess, Tempe, which is the college town too. So it's like all around that area.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
So it was nice. But I love the hotel. Shout out to the Fairmont Princess Scottsdale.
Oh, you went to a Fairmont?
I went to a Fairmont.
They are fancy.
They are very fancy. And their pool was amazing.
And they drugged you.
And I wore my my ASOS kimono, my pool kimono.
What's that?
And it's just like a long kimono that I got off of ASOS. I showed you, didn't I?
You've shown me the caftan.
Oh, okay. Well, this one is better because then it flows behind me. Like I'm very regal. I feel
kimono.
Very
She better don't. Yes.
I'm like, people were like looking at me, and I'm like, yes.
Was it? Did it have a train?
It felt like it because it was like very windy, so it would like fly behind me, and I'm just like, okay.
Were you clothed underneath?
Barely. I was.
How short is it?
It's not very short at all. It's like it's very long.
Oh,
like
why would you wear something so long in such a hot climate?
But it's like it's very thin too. It's a thin material.
Is it like silk?
If you spell that silk with a Y and an E,
it's silk.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that was my week. So now I'm back home.
We missed you.
I know. I missed you guys too. So now we can get into our favorite. You know what else I missed?
Tell me.
Our favorite segment, mouth to mouth. All right, so what are you obsessed with?
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
Oh,
I forgot one thing.
Okay.
Well, I have something that's not giving me life.
Oh.
So should I wait until after what is giving me life?
Maybe, yes.
Or do you want the bad before the good?
Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's have the bad first.
Okay, what's not giving me life is, as you might have seen, the Little Mermaid trailer has been released for the new live action.
Yeah,
with Halle
because
Berry.
the Little Mermaid trailer is giving me life.
Oh, well. So what's not giving me life is that it has 1.5 million dislikes on YouTube within the first 2 days.
Okay.
And I'm like, y'all racist motherfuckers need to step back.
Okay, it's good that you brought this up because the Little Mermaid trailer
The
Little Mermaid trailer is
the Little Mermaid
is one of the things that's giving me life. And I was like, because a friend of mine posted it on his Instagram, like the whole YouTube thing of like the little black and brown girls watching it and getting so excited to see a black Little Mermaid. And I was like, I wrote to him, I was like, oh my gosh, she ate that vocal. I'm like, are you sure you don't have 2 legs? Because that run, bitch. Because she does this little run. And I was like, okay, yes, I got you, girl. Like, that's good. I will say this, okay? Yeah, you have 1.5 million dislikes on it, but you still watch the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
They still got you to watch the trailer.
Well,
Their views are still up because you watched the trailer.
I saw something where it was like a marine biologist waited and said actually deep sea fish are usually darker in color.
Yeah, because
There's no light. And I'm just like, okay, the arguments against you people being like, I can't believe it. It's like, wake up.
Well, not only that, but I love the people who are like, you're ruining my childhood. I'm like, if your happiness of your childhood rests on the fact that a character is a certain color, then you have deeper problems that you need to talk about than just that.
Yes, and then we should get Talkspace to sponsor us because then we could refer them to Talkspace.
But yeah, I was like, I don't understand why this is such an issue because I'm like, first of all, the girl can sing.
Yeah.
Like, we cannot deny that she can sing. And people are like, it doesn't even look like it's underwater. What? We're talking about a cartoon.
They're shooting or they're like picking apples or whatever the phrase is.
I'm like, you're over here complaining about what used to be a cartoon is now live action. And it's like, I saw somebody else who was like, well, since they're all so mad about it anyway, why don't they make Prince Eric played by Ruby Rose? And I was like, that would be amazing.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine the kind of like conniption people would have if it was?
I would lose my shit. That would be fantastic.
Who's playing Ursula? I can't remember who's playing
Megan
Ursula. McCarthy?
McCarthy.
Oh.
Wait, Megan McCarthy?
No, not Megan McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, yeah.
Which there was also another funny joke about, like, I can't believe they're casting a non-purple woman to be the role of Ursula.
Oh my God.
Well, they were all like
making fun of all the.
Those are the same people who are upset that like the Rings of Power is woke right now with that because they have elves being played by black people, and I'm just like,
listen,
elves can be black, trolls can be black, goblins can be black. It's like,
why does it matter though?
Because they have this idea of what they want to see,
but that's not what it is. Like, yeah. And also, like, these people are making films and art and everything on their own, and they don't care what you think.
Oh my God, Aquafina's gonna be in it.
She'll be Scuttle.
Oh my God, she's gonna be Scuttle. That's amazing.
Seagull.
Which one's Scuttle?
He was the seagull.
Of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda is in it.
I think he's just helping produce it.
And David Diggs as Sebastian. It's amazing. Like, that's great.
This. I'll take this cast.
Who's the Eric guy?
I don't know, John.
He looks familiar. What's he in?
Jonah Howard King. Oh, he's kind of cute. I
feel like he's in a gay movie.
Oh, he was in Little Mermaid. That's pretty gay.
Safe word.
All right. Yeah. So what else you got on your list that you're...
Well, that's what's not giving me life. But what's giving me life, which is not as fun, but Count Chocula is back.
Because it's Halloween.
Yes. Count Chocula is life.
Okay.
But I don't know if they changed it. Now he has X's for eyes.
Because he's dead.
Well, so I don't know if this was a new thing this year that I noticed. I don't know if it was last year. But so Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Blueberry available at your store near you.
Okay.
That's giving me life. And I know that I'm late to the party, but the other thing that's giving me life is a little corn kid.
Okay. Explain this to me because I've been seeing this, but I don't understand it.
It's this little kid that is being interviewed about corn, and he loves corn. And I was like, I feel seen because I also love corn. But then they like made this remix song and like did a whole like orchestra sort of thing.
Okay,
to
but
it.
this kid was invited to the Emmys.
Yes. Yeah,
and I was like, what?
I'm sorry, but
I think it's great.
I need to be viral. I'll go to the Emmys.
I think it's great that he loves corn so much. I think he's a cute little kid, but I was like, what are we doing here?
I hope his mom is monetizing on this and putting it towards his college fund.
Right? I'm like, did you get
where's the deal?
A deal with Del Monte or something so you can like hawk their corn?
Shuck the corn. Next up, Chiquita Banana. And then the last thing is the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon because I think it's done very well.
Rings of Power?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. But there's
really
like
good.
A Hobbit character, so I call her Froda.
Okay.
Because it's like female Frodo, so it's Froda.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Oh my God, you're so unique and you thought that up all yourself. Oh my God, hi guys. Those dogs we know. The dogs barking are ones that we know.
He's like, is it my turn to talk?
Hello? We're all about including our community people.
And we're so inclusive, we include fallen trees.
All right. So
That didn't land.
no.
The tree did.
I'm still waiting for it to land. It's still floating up there somewhere.
It's floating up, just like the lightness that we have of Andy's cake.
I know. That was good.
That could be perceived wrong.
Andy's cake.
His light cake.
Cake.
No, he made red velvet and we ate it up.
Do you got anything else for what's giving
That
me
is
life?
all I have. Nothing else is giving me life.
Well, I already talked about the Little Mermaid trailer because it is amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it because her vocal on that is just is chef's kiss. Like, and okay, so I have 3.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I did have 4, but we already talked about one.
Okay.
That's how math works. First of all, I am loving, and I'll listen to it on repeat in the car for like ever if I can. Slow Song by the Knox featuring Dragonette, because I love Dragonette. But it has this like dancey kind of feel to it, but it also sounds like a Fleetwood Mac song.
Okay.
And I'm just like, and the video is amazing because they
Is
use
that Aquaria?
That's Aquaria in the video.
Okay.
And she's amazing in it. But yeah, so check it out. It's Slow Song by the Knox featuring Dragonette.
Okay.
The other one is a song called Debbie, but it's the Abso Facto mix by the group Smith.
Okay. You're gonna have to write it down. You just did a lot of words.
But I love this song. It's such a good song, and like the chorus is really cool, and I love all of it, and it's like, yeah, I'll listen to that one on repeat. So I'll just listen to the 2 back to back,
Okay.
and like all day long. All right, so in the vein of Little Mermaid, because people are losing their shit over it, I love She-Hulk on Disney Plus.
You do not.
Yay!
I do.
No.
You don't like it?
No,
I wanted to watch it, and he was
Okay.
like, "We're not
I
watching
judged
Why
it."
it
don't you like it?
hardcore. I was like, really? Is
But
this it? Just
what?
like the story and animation, like that's it? Like I thought she was supposed to be like a Hulk. Why is she so small?
She's not small. Like when she's the Hulk, when she's in Hulk form, she's like 7 feet tall.
Attorney at law.
Yeah, like but when she's Jennifer, she's obviously smaller. There is a difference. That's why she wears bigger suits when she's Jennifer. So when she has to turn into She-Hulk, it expands with her.
I'm gonna watch
You
it.
have to watch it. Okay, here's the thing. People who are MCU fans who only watch Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and shows don't understand this show. Just like they didn't understand WandaVision when it first came out. Because it is really, this is following the comics from the 90s very closely. Like this is like from page to picture, basically. And she always broke the fourth wall in her comic books, and she's doing it here. And like this is like Megan Thee Stallion is on there for an episode. I was like,
Okay.
Yes, I'm here for it. And it's funny because they also poke fun at themselves. Like there was like one episode where they were like Wong was in there. It's like, and then Jennifer is talking to the audience and she's like, "Oh, you guys saw Wong? Yeah, that should give us about a week's worth of Twitter armor."
Oh my god.
Because like it's very like self-actualized, and they make fun of themselves.
So it's smart.
Is super smart.
Okay.
And it's one of the few properties that is done predominantly by women.
This is a good cast too, because there's the one guy, Josh Segura.
Yeah, I mean they have an amazing cast. They haven't
Renee
even brought
Elise Goldsberry is in Girls Five Eva and is not. She looks like she's
and
25,
she was in Hamilton.
She's also
but
in
she's
Hamilton,
like 56.
Yeah, Benedict Wong, who plays the guy who plays Wong, is in there. There's a lot of great people who are coming through this show, and they haven't even gotten to Charlie Cox yet, who plays Matt Murdock. So I'm just like, you have to watch it. Please just go watch it and just give it a chance.
Okay.
It is really good.
If it passed your stamp of approval, then that would be
All right.
a good thing. Before you just reminded me of one thing, but have you seen the new Thor?
Love and Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we watched this past weekend too, and I loved it because it was so like, just the comedy in that show is hilarious.
And it was nonstop.
Oh, it's so good.
with the goats.
But I also was like,
The goats? Oh my god.
the goats are hilarious. Well, they always scream when you see them. But I also was like, here's the thing. People were like, why is She-Hulk twerking? Like, that's ridiculous. But, all this stuff. And then it was like, okay, you do realize that we saw Thor's ass. You saw Hulk's ass.
CGI'd.
So it's like, who cares? Like, we all wanted to see Chris Hemsworth's butt anyway, so we're happy to see it. I wanted to see Mark Ruffalo's, but it had to be CGI'd as the Hulk.
Wait, when was he naked?
You saw his butt in Thor Ragnarok.
I feel like I saw that movie too.
Yeah, it was really good, but Love and Thunder was amazing.
Is that the
too.
one with Hilda or whatever her name is?
Yes, Gila.
Okay, Gila.
Yeah.
Not Hilda. With Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, Paul, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Have you ever tried doing a little cleanup downstairs around the old Twig and Berries, and you find that you nicked yourself and it looked like a horror movie?
Well, I think I talked about this before, but my junk always seems a little like a horror movie.
Girl, love yourself, but we know.
I try to, and that's probably why it looks like that down there.
Amen.
But I really don't like to groom down there that much because I hate cuts and ingrown hairs. Why bother?
You don't want nicks and cuts. I like nick, but not,
Cuts.
those kinds of nicks. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You want to know why? Because the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped just arrived, and girl and boy and whatever you are, it is a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer. Do you trim your nose hairs? Because I do.
I do, but I use scissors, and I'm like, it.
That's dangerous.
Like it.
What if it goes in your brain?
I'm going to cut myself.
You don't want to be on 100,000 Ways to Die, or whatever it is. But the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant is also in there, and the Crop Revive Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. What a package.
Well, let's talk about the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get that 20% off worldwide free shipping with code TUGAYS.
So the subject that I want to talk about right now is these words that we see or hear that come into the lexicon lately, especially in like the last 2 years. Either they've come into it or they become more popular because people are using it more or have taken it and ran in a different direction with it or using it in a different way. But one of the new kind of like words or phrases that are out there right now, like this is what made me want to talk about this, is there's 3 of them that all work together. The first one's called quiet quitting. And I don't know if you know anything about this.
Yes, I know all about it.
Okay. So, well, the first thing you need to know about quiet...
I was quiet quitting before it was a thing.
I was quiet quitting before it was cool. Okay.
This is like Paul's linguistics corner. I'm loving it. His lexicon.
Quiet quitting when it was known as slacking off.
I know. Seriously. Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the first thing you need to know about quiet quitting...
Push up your glasses, girl.
Is that the kid's about to be schooled. Everybody take your seats.
Or are we being schooled because they're the ones doing it? Are the kids schooling us and you're about to school the audience?
I am.
That's some inception.
Exactly. The first thing you need to know about quiet quitting is that it's not actually quitting. Instead, the quitter keeps their job and chooses to do only the bare minimum rather than go above and beyond. The second thing you need to know is that the term is brand new, so everyone is still figuring out the rest. Like, this isn't about people... like quietly just not showing up anymore. It's actually them deciding they need a better work-life balance and that they're not being, they feel like they're not being challenged anymore at their job. And so they're just kind of like, okay, I'm not going to do any more over what I'm getting paid to do.
Well, it's setting boundaries. And I think people don't get that, like, you're putting up like safety nets for you as the person, like the employee, because you want to make sure that your time is more important than the company's time. You know what I mean?
Right. And like for me, working in the kitchen, it was always about how much more could you do, how much more can you put in, how much more can you give. And so it was like when I heard about this, I was like, oh, maybe I should start doing this. But I was like, I think I have been doing this because I told the restaurant, I'm like, I'm just gonna come in, do my little thing every once in a while, and then I'm like, I do what I need to do, and then I go. I don't stay any later. I don't do any extra work.
Yeah, well, because people want to get paid for the work that they do. So if you're going above and beyond at the salary and you're not getting any pay bump, that's why they're like, well, then why am I going to work for more?
Well, one of the other things that plays into quiet quitting is quiet firing.
What? I don't know that one.
So quiet firing is like when you keep the person there, but you don't receive any feedback or praise. You get raises of 3% or less, while others are getting much more. Your one-on-ones are frequently canceled or shuffled around. You don't get to work on cool projects or things like that. Things like that. And sometimes the companies will do this on purpose.
I was just going to say, those are corporate tactics to force you out so they don't have to terminate you.
They were to encourage people to take a new path on their own accord because they might not fit the culture.
Or it's safer because you don't have to pay them if you fight or if they quit on their own.
Right.
They used to have this in Japanese business culture as an executive got older and older and their usefulness was perceived to be lower and lower. They'd give them a window office so they could basically come into work every day and look out the window.
Oh.
You still had your job, but...
I want a window office.
I know. I'm like, give it to me now.
Culturally, we're opposite. You know, like in our world, the executives get the window off. Or pre-COVID, executives got the window office.
Yeah,
and everybody else had the insides. But it's the opposite. The people of power are inside, closest to the middle.
How interesting!
And everybody else, the silent fired people are.
And the fact that they don't see age and experience as a good thing
or a combo,
right? Yeah. Like they actually see that as something that's like, okay, we need to get rid of this person. So
yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's much more common in that culture that someone stays with a company their whole life. So it's at the time when you normally be retiring, but they're still going to give this person. It's actually a respect for the elderly not to terminate them because they've lost their effectiveness.
Yeah.
If we have any listeners out there from Japan who can give us some more insight on that, please email us at tugays@yahoo.com.
That was all lore from Sony when I worked for Sony.
Wow.
They did all that.
See, the people in Japan were ahead of the quiet quitting, quiet firing game.
I know.
I didn't know about quiet firing.
Well, there's one more.
Oh, my God.
And there's a concept of fat fire. What? And FIRE is an acronym for Financial Independence, Retire Early.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about that life.
Which encourages workers to engage harder with their jobs that they may not necessarily like to earn as much money as possible before retiring with an investment nest egg.
Yep.
Now, is that something that you would tell people to do?
Depends on
Nick.
It's more or less that they choose the date they want to retire, and then you say, hey, if this is what you want to do, then you've got to be able to save X, and then people will be like, okay.
Yeah, the FIRE movement, people are very lean in what they do with their lives. So, like, they don't have any extra. They don't do anything extra other than save everything that they possibly can.
So they can live, they can do all that when they retire early. Yeah.
They retire at 40 and they're like, oh, I paid off my home or whatever. I don't have any bills and I can live for the rest of my life.
Right, but
which is, I'm all for it.
That's a good way to think about it, and I think that's great. But the great inflation right now that we're having is beating out the great resignation that we went through.
Wait, so, okay, before we get into that, backtrack to quiet firing. So if you're getting, like, what is it? You're getting just, like, barely getting by and you're not getting anything from your boss?
You're not getting anything from your bosses. You're not getting any new projects, or you are getting new projects, but they're not the cool ones that you used to get. Or your one-on-ones and you're not getting any one-on-ones. You're not getting any good feedback. So it's almost like we're going to do everything we can to make you unhappy.
So you
and
quit.
if that you quit, or if you're already quiet quitting, they're just not going to do much for you, so that you just decide, okay, I don't care, they don't care, I'm out.
I just feel like what I don't understand is, like, if companies just paid people for the time and work that they do and just, like, did that, you'd retain so many more people.
It's interesting because, like, you know, we had the Great Resignation, and people left the jobs that they had to find other jobs that paid better, gave them better work-life balance, and, like, was better for their mental health and just financially and everything. So that was something that went through COVID, and that came up through COVID and everything. And I think this is the kind of, like, end of that, you know, kind of piggybacking on that.
It's like the return to work. I think it's probably fueled by companies are saying you have to come back to work, and then employers are like, no, I don't. and then they'll go somewhere else.
But then they do because it's like the company's forcing them to, because the company's paid for all of this office space and everything, and their thinking is like, we want to watch you do your work, so we know that you are doing the work, which is stupid because we went through like 2 years of people working from home and it was fine. You know, I just don't get it. But again, it's like the great inflation with all the pricing for everything going up right now.
Yeah.
Like Andy went to the store, he couldn't even find any sriracha on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah. No sriracha. Because it's not, because the pepper that they use to make it.
Is it like a supply chain thing too?
That's another word that like people would use a lot. Like another phrase that people use a lot during COVID that just like blew up, that you would never before in your life, before COVID, would you ever say supply chain in
I would. I know. I was like, I think half the room working with like manufacturing operations. Hey, it's a supply chain. Are we good? Do we have our supply?
Yeah, but you weren't saying it in like your living room with your friends going, I couldn't get toilet paper because of the supply chain problem.
Oh, you don't know me. I was like, we were delayed on projects because of supply chain. It just had a very different tone. Wait, so you guys weren't able to get sriracha?
If you look in the grocery store right now, like the normal bottles of sriracha, they're not there.
Yeah. Is it like just there's no stock, or is it just coming slowly?
You can't get it. You know, I haven't tried like an Asian market or anything like that.
Okay.
But normal Ralph's, Vons, the grocery stores around here, the shelves empty.
Should I be stocking up on stuff?
You should probably like stuff that requires something specific. Like sriracha requires a specific pepper, and because the crop wasn't great, it has created this like shortage of it.
What other food items are going to go out of supply? Tell me so I know. I need to know what to stock up on.
Corn. Yeah, corn.
It's got the juice. It's catchy. That song is real catchy. And then there was someone that did like a Broadway version of it. And it was this, like, talk about a vibrato. She had, I'll send the video to you, but she had this like gorgeous Broadway vibrato.
If it was a Broadway show, would you see corn twice?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Did you get the...
Okay. And it would be like, corn, see it twice. If not, shuck you.
That's a poop joke, everyone.
Is it because it's undigested? Or is it just like the... You always know when you have corn. Sometimes it sneaks up on you.
So going back to like the Great Inflation, it's beating the Great Resignation because people are leaving their jobs for higher paying jobs. Mm-hmm. But now inflation has kind of eaten away at what people were getting as extra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and if you didn't get a 10% raise, you're actually making less this year than you were last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so depending I'm making less this year than I was last year.
And depending on where you live.
Oh, yeah. And they raised my rent. Fuck. I am in a... Damn, they raised my rent 10%.
No.
Yes. Well, it was over... So they didn't raise it the first year. So it was 10% for like over the course of 2 years. What's that?
We're so lucky.
It's like, is Mr. Rogers coming?
Knocking on wood. Yeah, that's crazy though. I didn't realize people were like raising rent that much. And then and
that's legal.
Oh yeah.
It's only, I think it's capped at 10. Okay, sorry, it was 9.5%, but same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 3%. A cap too.
Yeah,
in California.
If you are in an apartment and you're staying, they can only raise it 1%, like a certain percent. I think it's 10%. But the kicker is, if you leave, they can raise the rent $30,000 if they want, like just because it's the market value.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so people are leaving, and then the apartments are going for like double.
Oh,
they're silently firing them.
They are. They're silently firing their tenants.
Oh my God, there was a thing, and it was like landlords are complaining about a rent lock or whatever, or like a rent freeze or something. And it was like a Twitter thing, and it was like, I can't believe landlords are complaining about this. Maybe you should get a real job.
Ew.
Okay.
But that made me laugh because I was like,
You and Steve.
I was like,
that's how Steve feels.
Damn capitalism. But also, thank you.
So another new word that I've like heard about
it to me. What is
lately
it?
is microplastics.
You didn't know about microplastics?
I didn't know that it was such a big thing for
They're already
people.
a part of you.
They are.
Yeah.
Because, like, they did a study where they checked the blood samples from 22 people, and 17 of them had significant amounts of microplastics in it.
I love it.
I'm
Preserve
sorry,
me,
what?
baby.
Microplastics, usually associated with, like, aquatic life. I was going to say aquamarine.
Aquavelva.
Like it's in our bodies.
Like,
Yes.
it's in your body, girl.
Yeah.
Eating food that has
So, like half of the people who were their blood was tested came back with positive for PET plastics, which is the kind of plastic that they use for water bottles.
Yep.
And a third of those people had polyethylene in their blood, which is used for food packaging. So the biggest concern is like for babies and toddlers who are bottle feeding because there's all that plastic there. Plus, they like to chew on anything they can get their
I mean,
hands
well,
on,
I was
like
bottle
it.
fed and I'm fine. Perception. Perception.
explains a lot, Lucy.
Yeah.
But like this stuff could like build up.
Well, so
in
here's,
your body.
here's the thing with this. Like, do we have long-term data or like statistically significant like an analysis that shows here's what this means? Or is it just we had blood that
Girl,
showed?
you like using all these scientific words because you work in a laboratory.
Well, because the whole thing is like, it's like, oh my god, that's like, sometimes you can have gold in your blood, but like, no one's gonna be mad about
Can
that.
I?
Yes. So
Somebody get my blood out and see if I got any gold. I want some money.
okay, you went a different direction. I was like, so if you try to murder people, get their blood, and then like,
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to
Get
murder
some
people.
gold. Get
I'll
some
take my own
gold.
blood.
yeah, no, the microplastics. I'm curious how it'll look like. What it'll look like in 5 to 10 years. Like, what's the conclusion that will be drawn?
But I'm also like, hello, people. You put all this other stuff in our bodies.
Thank you. There's
So,
other things that you put in your
You know
body.
what? You know what? Probably got that plastic from that dildo. Okay.
Well, it's like any of the like breast implant surgeries that people have. There's silicone leaching. It's foreign objects, like in
So
your
does it
body.
not dissolve?
No,
And like your body doesn't like force it out through
Silicone?
like no
No.
like, just like the microplastics.
we don't have the
Oh.
enzymatic capability to do so.
You don't poop it out.
Enzymatic. I was like, that's your drag name.
Because I'm gonna break you down.
She's gonna break it down right
my
now.
God.
Coming to the stage to break it down for you. Enzymatic.
America.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That's
I need to
Gaga's-
remember that.
That's Gaga's new album after Chromatica, Enzymatica. She brought you Chromatica, now she's gonna break it down.
and all of the songs are gonna end with the word that's -ase because enzymes end in like ace.
Okay.
ASE.
So I'm glad you brought that up because you know what I hate that was like a trend with words and stuff
Words with
recently.
friends?
No.
Wordle.
Not even
all
no,
of those
because
things.
Andy plays Wordle and I help him sometimes, and I know
It's
Nick plays
hard.
Words with Friends.
Then
love
when it
both
got
of
acquired
those.
by the New York Times, it got more difficult. The
Did it
Wordle.
Did it get racist?
No.
No, Wordle's easy.
Okay, Mr. Wordman. Just rub your intelligence in our face.
4 guesses.
If I'm helping, it's less than that.
I didn't know I was in such greatness presence.
But something that I hated that was a trend for a while, and I don't know if it's stopped or whatever, but like ending words with "ussy." So like, you know how in About Damn Time Lizzo goes, "Where are my Balenciagas?" So talking about her Balenciagas, or people would be like, "I'm about to eat all this spaghetti ussy."
Okay, I don't know if... Was I here for that? I don't think... Okay, I'm like removed from society, but like I feel like I would have known this.
I don't know. Did you?
Because the only ussy I know is bussy.
I mean,
But I don't know... or would that be like bussy ussy?
but like if you're talking about your dog, is it your dog ussy?
Ew, no. Why? Is that what people were doing?
They were doing like they would just like put it on the end of a word.
Okay, this reminds you of the ubby-dubby language on Zoom from PBS. Do you remember that?
I do.
Where it was like, ubby, you would do like at every syllable. So like, hubba lubbo is how you would say hello. And you do like ub and dub. Yeah.
I wasn't very good at that.
I wasn't either. But that sounds like...
Box 350, Boston, Mass. 021.
Yeah. www.pbs.org. So wait, okay, hold on. I'm having a hard time understanding that people did that.
It's true. Like they would just.
I know the Balenciaga one or whatever that was.
But it's just like people would just start doing that, and they were doing it on like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. And they would just like, it's with a Y, Nick. Nick, who is our fact checker, is going online, but he was spelling it with like USSIE.
Oh, he's so cute.
But it's like people would just
Bless
take
her
it
hard,
and then be like, "I'm gonna get in my car seat."
No. They need to stop ussing that.
But I'm not like talking about like fussy or mussy or anything like that. I'm talking like, I'm about to eat this watermelon, so I'm about to eat this watermelusy.
That's okay. That the amount of effort it takes to like
I
translate.
know! That's why I hated it.
I don't remember this.
It was very recent and very short. All right. So what do you have? What are some of the words you have?
Well, so in preparation, I Googled like new slang terms that I should learn that teens. Yes, in preparation age, I Googled like what are teens saying? Because that's how like stuff starts.
So what's some of the words?
So okay, the first one that I didn't really, I mean, I feel like I've heard these, but I haven't heard these. But like situationship, have you heard of that one?
I'll read you a really short-term relationship.
It's okay, Andy. So it's when a relationship is more than friends but less than a couple. It might be a situationship. Think of it as a modern counterpart of the old Facebook relationship option. It's complicated.
Okay. It sounds like you got this from like Marie Claire or something, and they're like the 45-year-old had to like figure out what
you want to. So I'm going to tell you the names of the 3 articles that I got.
Okay.
The first one is the newest teen slang trends of 2022. The next one is 22 urban slang words every mama should know in 2022.
That was a Marie Claire article.
Yeah.
What is Marie Claire?
It's a magazine.
Oh, it's from sassymama.com. Oh, sorry. No, Siri, don't do that. Jeez, you update your watch and it does all the things. And then the last one was the Merriam-Webster 30 words that were added.
Okay.
Because some of these were like, what? So situationship was one of them. Because I was like, I feel like there's like very strange words that I don't understand. And then there's some that make sense. Like I was talking to Matthew the other day and he was like, oh God. He was telling me something about another name for a hot dog was like a grizzle or something. Like kids are calling hot dogs grizzles. I don't know if it's grizzle. But I was like, not a hot dog? A grizzle?
Oh.
And I was like,
interesting.
Okay.
They just want to talk in their own language, I guess.
It's hard. I mean, I don't know how to like have a conversation with like a 15-year-old because I don't know how I would like, hi, how are you?
Just say everything's
In
fire.
what situation
That's
would you need
fire.
to have a conversation with a 15-year-old?
What if I'm interviewing someone for a murder? I don't know.
Did they murder someone or did you murder someone?
I don't know. Maybe I need some gold. So also, sussy was on this list, and I was like, what? But it's an increasingly popular alternative to the slang term sus, which is suspicious. But I was like, what? Because I feel like if you add ussy, it just sounds dirty.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. We just had this conversation about ending ussy, and you said you never heard it, but now here you are talking about it.
Well, I had to refresh my words.
But Andy likes to say sus.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, that's sus.
Oh, Andy, you're getting all
And I'm
18
like,
on
oh,
us.
look at you.
That's fire.
That's fire.
What else you got?
So, one of the things that I'm like,
Fire was on my list too, by the way. It's fire/trash. Next one on the thing.
some of the things that I thought was interesting was during COVID, people had made either new words or some words came into effect, like pivot.
Yes.
Pivot, it's always been around, but people were using it in a way like talking about their careers. Like, they got laid off or whatever, so it was time to pivot to a different career. Or rebrand yourself as something different.
Companies use that too to talk about how they change, like restaurants pivoted from sit down to
yeah.
And
I
every
use
time
all the time in work,
and every time I hear it, I think of Friends.
Yeah.
But like during COVID, there was also like doom scrolling became like this big word where you would just be on your phone, and all you do is just look through Twitter and news, and it's just bad news, and you can't get out of that spiral of like looking at bad.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, but it was
I feel
like
really good one.
doom scrolling.
Yeah,
I feel like that is a really good one.
and that's what people would do. Like
I feel like people still do that.
Yeah, yeah, they
I
still
do
do
that. Well, because you get stuck in it, and then it's like Instagram is like boop 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 boop, or like Facebook
like
boop boop boop.
You I saw you looked at this article about the world burning down. Here are 14 more suggested.
Or a targeted ad for therapy by Talkspace.
That comes up after every 3. You're like, maybe I should talk to Talkspace.
Oh my god! So okay, unrelated, but another thing that I'm obsessed with is haircut videos on Instagram.
The what videos?
So haircut. Like there are these 2 Asian barbers, these guys, and they like are really, really like bro-y, but they'll have like haircut videos. Like these guys will come in and they're like, hey, I have like post-COVID hair, and then the guys are like super like, here's what you gotta do, you gotta thin out the sides, you gotta do this, and it's like really like I can't stop watching.
Do they give them? They don't do the haircut themselves.
They do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're going to tell them what they do.
They're straight. So they're straight male barbers that are like offering advice to like other guys, and I was like, huh?
Why do they have to say that they're straight?
They don't. I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Why are you assuming? You know what happens when you assume?
That's sus.
That's very sus. That's
sussy
fire. But another one was a quarantini.
Okay.
You know, people were saying that
Like
a lot.
martini.
That was your cocktail.
Yeah, that was your cocktail. Or pod became super popular during COVID because that's what you called your group of friends that you hung out with was your pod. Like people would be like, "Oh, do you want to hang out?" No, I can't. I'm just sticking with my pod right now.
Yeah.
Isn't that also like a group of dolphins?
Yes, it is.
Is it dolphins? Or
Yes.
like porpoises? Or is a dolphin a porpoise?
Aren't they the same thing?
I don't know.
No, they're not the same thing, but the dolphin is the one that's a pod.
A pod. Okay.
Also, Blur's Day.
What?
Blur's Day because you didn't know what day it was during COVID because all of them just kind of blurred together.
Well, that's still effective for me.
I know.
Do you
It's
think
true.
any of those are still being used today?
I think doom scrolling is probably still being used. There's a lot of like words that became more popular, like or phrases like systemic racism and pandemic and stuff that are still being used a lot right now. Black Lives Matter was huge during the pandemic and still is. So I think and like we're still talking about supply chain problems, and that was a huge thing during COVID. So it's like
hop on a Zoom was another one too.
yes, like nobody. It's kind of
Like
funny.
hop on a call. Like I'm gonna just hop on something. It's like, where are you hopping to?
Well, and it's like now, you know, older people would always complain about technology that they didn't know how to use it, but then they had to learn how to use Zoom and some other stuff like FaceTime and
QR codes in general.
QR codes in general. Like because you're still using that's something that they still use now, even at this point, 2.5 years in. We're still using QR codes.
Well, I think that's actually really
but
good.
I think it's great.
because it saves trees.
Right. It saves trees.
menus.
It's so easy. You have your phone with you anyway. You can't tell me you don't have your phone.
I have to say, watching my parents adapt to that stuff too, who are just like not technologically savvy, but to watch my mom just be like, "Oh, here's what I'm gonna," like, I'm just like, "Good for you, mom! Like you adapted with the rest of us."
Well,
yeah,
there you go. Adaptability.
adaptability.
Oh.
Was that the word for 2022 as well?
You know, one word that is more tied to like social media and the way we interact with information is clickbait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really become more popular, like because we were talking about the 16 things you can do, or the 10 words that
It's but then oh my god, I hate that. Like 5-minute crafts is so bad on YouTube. Like it just is a bunch of clickbait where it's like it shows you a picture and it's not in the video, but they
Oh,
get
I
it
hate
for the
that.
views. Yes, I know.
Instagram allows you to do that now too, where you can post like a picture of your video.
Okay, I've noticed that where some of the thumbnails they're not because it's like a hot guy on the thumbnail, it makes me watch the whole stupid video. I was like,
Looking
where
for
was
the
this
hot guy.
Where was this? And it's not at all related. I was like, what? I feel like that's false advertising.
that's what we should do for our next Manscaped ad.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my God.
That's probably what people thought when I posted about Konzo, and they're like, "Oh my god, the guy's hot. I'm gonna go listen to the thing. They were gonna talk about sex the entire time." Like, no, we're a bunch of nerds.
We're talking about like animal preservation.
But you know what I like? Something I that came out of COVID that I love. It's JOMO.
Yes.
Because people were like,
yes.
Right before that, people were always talking about FOMO,
yes.
the fear of missing out. I wanted JOMO.
Yes.
The joy of missing out.
I didn't have a term for it, and I felt like it was you know how like when you finally feel like you're being seen? That's what I felt like when I heard of JOMO. I was like, I feel like I'm being represented right now. Because it has my name in it, and it's joy of missing out.
And do you know what, so you know what inflation is? Do you know what shrinkflation is?
I've heard it.
What happens when you go in the ocean?
Oh, Nick got jokes.
That's my one for the year. See you next year.
He gets one funny a month. That's all he has.
But shrinkflation is where basically you're paying more. Like the bag is actually just a little bit smaller, and they put less product in it, but it's still the same price.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god!
I feel like tortilla chip companies have been doing that for years. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
You're paying for all that one tortilla chip instead of 3.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, I haven't been to Costco, and Andy usually goes, but I haven't gotten a huge bag of the Stacy pita chips. So he would get it at like Vaughn's. It's just a regular size, and that regular size feels like it is tiny.
It's half, yeah.
Like it is like I'm like, is that like a?
And they're all broken.
Yeah, they're all broken.
Okay, like I know that I just got pita chips. I think today or yesterday, and they're always broken. So they need to find a new packaging alternative or something. Because I want a real pita chip size. I don't want like broken pita chips.
You want a whole like square pita chip,
which isn't how pita's made, but I want them square.
Wouldn't a broken pita also be called a chip?
Yeah, but they're like fractures. It's just like, how am I supposed to have this small? It's just like the size.
How is this going to hold dip?
It wasn't. You know what I had to do? I had to put it in a bowl and stir it up with some of the artichoke dip and eat it with a spoon. I know. It wasn't bad, but like still. What'd you say?
The nerve.
The
gall. The gumption. Or whatever.
That sounds sus.
Okay, fire.
What else do you have?
Okay. So sliving. Have you heard of sliving?
No. Is that what a steak does? When it's living.
Kind of. Unrelated, but did you know you can cook a steak in an air fryer?
Yes. Because we've done pork chops in there. But Andy just made keto chicken thighs where he rolled them in chicharrones.
In who?
And chicharrones.
Chopped up pork rind. You make like a breadcrumb out of
Oh my
pork
god, it tastes like bacon.
0 carb. It's delicious.
It was delicious.
Wait, you made chicken thighs?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it and you just dip in eggs?
You did egg and a keto flour and then
chicharrones.
But next time I would probably like add a little bit of like chili powder to it or something like that to the chicharrones to give it a little spice.
But do you have it with?
Because I like it
sassy.
sassy.
You make ranch?
Yeah.
Did you have it with ranch?
You could. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It was delicious.
Oh my god! And this was chicken strips?
Chicken thighs.
But you can do it with strips. You can do it with anything.
Could do it with the breast.
You could do it with pork.
Titty.
So you have pork on top of pork.
Oh, porkception. Yeah. So anyway, sliving means slang and living, and it's a combination of the two. And Paris Hilton coined it.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, so it means slay and living. And so how to use it says, watch me sliving it up in college. That would be my peak.
Okay.
Just remember,
you definitely got this from like Cosmopolitan.
SassyMama.com, 22 urban slang. And I love how it's 22 urban slang words.
Yeah. Okay.
So, one word that I'm glad is starting to disappear, but I cringe every time I hear it is journey.
I know.
I love that journey.
I really hate when it's so patronizing. I hate when people say that.
Oh, but you know what? That was cringe was on my list too. Like cringe has been used so much lately because that's so cringe.
What's the new cringe is chuggy, right?
Yes,
what?
Chuggy?
Yeah,
CHOUGIE.
It's spelled very weirdly. I don't know how to spell it.
I think that because I saw that today too when I was looking at the website.
I don't know.
It's the Scottish way to
Chuggy. It's an
that's
American
not right.
neurologist.
No, neuralism.
That's not the right thing.
Neologism.
Neologism. What does it mean?
I don't think this is
It's
right.
the opposite of trendy.
Let's go to Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Oh, opposite of trendy.
Yeah. So, it's stylish in middle and high school, but no longer it's now. So it's no longer. It's now chuggy to say chuggy.
Wait, what?
It's now chuggy to say chuggy.
Out of style.
It's out of style.
That's how fast it changes, people. You got to keep up with the times.
Oh my god. And another one that I have, it's more in like politics now, but woke.
Yes.
So like you have like woke liberals are trying to take over America.
And yeah, people try to make it a bad thing, but it's not.
And I'm like, no, it just means that you're like aware of things.
You know what I found that was a good word that kind of goes with that? Greenwashing.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
It means, yes, it's when companies or big corporations try to make it seem that they are being more environmentally conscientious, but they lie to you. They lie to you.
Exactly.
They lying.
They lies.
What's that called for like the gay world when they say they support?
Grinder.
No, when they say they support LGBT issues, but then they like donate
it's
to
Pride
anti.
Day.
There was a word for.
Is there a word for that?
It's virtue signaling.
Oh,
Like when people
Okay,
only
come
post
on.
about stuff but never really do anything
Virtue signaling?
It's called virtue signaling.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So that's like when all the corporations have rainbows on Pride Month, and then on July 1st they're all back to normal.
Yeah.
And you have the memes.
And they say they say that they're going to do stuff and they stand with you and everything, but they never do anything.
If you're gonna stand with me, no, don't stand with me. Give me money.
Well, just don't stand near me. I don't want you to stand with me at all.
don't stand
I
so
don't want to
close
be
to
by
me.
myself.
Right? Yeah, no, I do know greenwashing though. I do know greenwashing.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's a big thing in like the like skincare industry, because it's like clean beauty or whatever.
Oh,
They're
right.
Like, oh, you're greenwashing, but Apple's doing it because they're like, we're going to be net zero carbon.
Yes.
But that's only when they produce. It doesn't mean that they don't. It's what I don't like is that they don't take responsibility once it leaves their company. So it's like we're not green. We're not making any bad things to the environment, even though you have to get this and it has to ship and it goes on a plane and a train and then a car.
Well, but that's where Apple's getting into trouble right now. They're saying that they don't put like the plug-in socket into their packaging for environmental issues, but it's not for that. It's for lower costs.
They save money.
You save money on every box.
And then you have to go buy one.
But they're getting in trouble right now in, I think it's Argentina. They are not allowed to sell their phones in Argentina right now because they don't come with the socket.
Really?
And part of the irony in all of this, Apple saying it's for environmental things, is that they refuse to be on the same standard, the USB-C standard, that the rest of technology all uses.
Yep.
So they're requiring you to buy an extra cable anyway. So you
Is
can't
it
really say
Europe?
that it's... Yeah, and in
Making
Europe,
them?
they're forcing them to switch over to USB-C.
But like for
Wow.
new phones and everything, that they don't have a USB-C.
The jack is the same shape and configuration. It's just a different protocol.
How interesting.
So I wanted to talk about like one more word that I found, and then I wanted to get into like these words from the 1920s that
Okay.
people don't use anymore, but I wish that they would, because
Okay.
I love old school words like shenanigans and
Or tarnation.
rabble rouser.
Or what in tarnations?
Yes, or like rabble rousers or other words like that.
So like 100 years ago, if they had podcasts, this is what we would be talking
This is what they would be saying. But
And we'd be in sepia.
the new one that I found was
Thank you.
Yesify.
Yes. Oh my god, though. Do you remember the apps that they would do? Where
Yes.
They would like yassify you. Oh my god.
But so anybody who doesn't know what that is for our listeners, Yesify is when you take someone's picture or someone and you make them up to look like glam them up and give them a glow up in a way.
But not good. Like
Yeah.
it's so over the top. Like if you get yassified, it's usually for like a joke.
Yeah.
Because like you're not gonna want to look like that.
Like the picture when they did the yesification of the Friends group and they took one of their pictures and yesified them.
well, and
I
they
was like,
yassified Donald Trump.
oh,
And like
That-
that looks like a drag
that.
queen. Yeah. And they all have you know what it looks
The
like? It just
contouring is
looks
so
like,
great.
Yassified just looks like influencers' plastic surgery routines.
Yes.
It's really funny.
It's Apple filter number 32. Or
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a program. If you guys ever want to be yassified, I have the program that does this. And
Oh,
I
do you?
called it super sculpting because it will like change
rather not.
and add bones. And
I think you should take one of our pictures and yassify
yassify it?
it,
We
and then
should.
I'm going to post it.
that would be fun. I'll
Okay.
work on it. Yeah.
We're going to do that.
Okay.
All right. So these are some words from the 1920s that used to be good. And I don't know why people still don't say stuff like this.
Give them
like,
to me.
The bee's knees.
I say that.
Do you?
Yes.
Because for those who don't know, bee's knees means it's something cool.
Yes.
Like that is the bee's knees.
I say it. I've said that. Yeah.
And like people would say, can you spare some clams?
what?
Not meaning like the actual seafood,
dollars.
but dollars.
Clams?
Yeah, it went from seafood to dairy really fast for some reason. Because it went from clams to cheddar to cheese
Dough.
to dough.
Always
It's always about food.
Yeah.
I love that the word of when like objectifying somebody was called, like they had good gams. Like, look at those gams.
Scam.
Oh, I like this one because I think this would also be a good synonym for a gay guy is a dewdropper, which is a young unemployed guy who sleeps all day. So basically a gay guy. So I was like, oh, dewdropper, that sounds cool. There's a fire extinguisher. And I didn't get this when it said a chaperone, but then they were like, also a killjoy. So I'm like, oh, so you're a cock blocker or a clam jammer.
Oh my god.
I heard clam jammer on like Never Have I Ever, and I thought that was so funny.
The one that I thought Joe would say is phonus balonus. That's like nonsense. Like that's so phonus balonus.
That's so much words. That's too much effort.
I want to use this one. I'm gonna start using this one. Let's blouse. Means we're out of here. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that.
Is that your new pineapple?
It's like our pineapple. Yeah.
Oh.
Or I thought Joe would use this one. He would probably use this one. Hotsy totsy.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Which means it's like the cat's pajamas.
Oh,
Which
that's
means
the
it's-
bee's knees.
They thought everything was cool back then.
Yeah. Well, they were still getting to know what life was about.
I don't know why they called tea noodle juice.
What?
Yeah.
Teen noodle juice?
No,
Tea.
Oh.
call it
I was
noodle
like,
juice.
teen noodle juice sounds dirty.
But I was
That's
also
sussy.
like, but are you spilling the noodle juice? A couple of other ones. So, like, upchuck, of course, means vomit, because I still use that word.
Yeah.
Wet blanket. I still call people wet blankets.
What does
like,
that mean?
because they're no fun, or they're, like, they want to kill the party. They're a party pooper.
A wet blanket?
Yeah.
Huh.
Did you know you were using a terminology that was 100 years old?
I'm pretty sure I did, because I'm old. Yeah. And then the last one is, you slay me. So they used to say... They used to say slay back then.
They said slay before slay was cool.
I know.
Maybe they made Slay cool.
Oh. Whoa.
That's sussy.
Yeah, that's
Andy
actually
and his
that's
wokeness. He's too woke.
All right, everyone. Well, have a great week and use these words where you can.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.
We want to take this time to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. And we want to remind you, don't forget, you get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TUGAYS. That's TUGAYS at manscaped.com.
Use that code now to unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.